Good morning children and welcome to today's class. So far we have finished about up to pond as a habitat. Now organisms that live in different levels of a pond. In pond we have studied and I gave you homework also. Different regions are there like pond margin, mid region, surface of the pond, bottom of the pond. So organisms that live in the different levels of a pond. Now try to answer the following questions on the basis of what you have read so far. So till yesterday you have learned so many things. So from that you have to answer the following questions. Name some organisms in the pond that can stay in different regions in the same pond. What makes them stay in different regions in the pond? Why they are staying in the different regions? Because for the food and for the air. Next, can different places in the pond also be called as a habitat? Yes, wherever they live for a suitable conditions to survive is called as a habitat. Is there any animal with legs in the pond? So you have to find out this question. Is there any animal with legs in the pond? Do all animals in the pond have tails? Do all animals in the pond swim? This is a homework for you. Find out the answers for these questions and write. If not, tomorrow again I'll repeat the answers in the class. What are the animals that share the surface of the pond as a habitat? This is very important. Name the animals that share the surface of the pond as a habitat. Only one animal is not living on the surface of the pond. Many animals, many insects are living. So you have to find out the names. Are leaves of plants growing in the pond similar? What is the difference between the leaves of the plants growing at the bottom and that floating on the surface? So what is the difference between the leaves that are on the surface and that are in the pond? In all ponds we can see both plants and animals. So till now these 4-5 question answers are there. For this you have to find out the answers. And tomorrow I will again recall this para. Now in all ponds we can see both plants and animals. The plants that we see in water are called aquatic plants. Yes, the plants that we see in the water, the plants that live in the water are called aquatic plants. And the animals that live in the water are called aquatic animals. Like fish is an aquatic animal. This type of habitat is said to be an aquatic habitat. Now fish lives in the water and it is called as aquatic animal and the habitat is called as aquatic habitat. There are several aquatic habitats on earth. From very small one like water tanks, ponds, different places in water tanks or pond, small garden pools that form after rain, to large ones like salt waters, lake, rivers, seas, etc. So what are aquatic habitats? Example for aquatic habitats are even our water tank on the terrace. After the rain you can find a small pool in front of your house. Rivers, seas, oceans, everything. The water content. So these type of water contents are called as aquatic habitat. So far we have learned about the aquatic animals, aquatic plants and aquatic habitat. Now tree as a habitat. Pond as a habitat we have finished. Now it's tree as a habitat. So, before the lesson we have learned what is a habitat, the pond as a habitat, now tree as a habitat. Now in the same way let us study a plant or a tree as habitat. Birds, monkeys, squirrels, snakes, ants, spiders, caterpillar, moths, bees, wasps, small plants, mosquito. So when I am reading this, you have to listen the pronunciation. And many of you are not listening properly. Again and again you are asking the homeworks. Once and twice I am reminding you the homework in the video. Starting I am telling and after the completing the class also I am reminding you the homework. But again and again you are asking. That means you are not at all listening properly. So birds, monkeys, squirrels, snakes, ants, spiders, caterpillar, moths, bees, wasps, small plants, mosquitoes are some organisms that you may find on a tree. So these are the animals that we find on a tree. Now try to classify them in table number 2 based on where you find them. Add some examples that you know. Here they have given table number 2. At the base of the tree, what can you find at the base of the tree? Ants, snakes, frogs, earthworms. Next, on the trunk. On the trunk, some insects, woodpecker. Next, between the branches, monkeys. Next, on or within leaves. Leaves also you can see small insects. Next, now try to explain the types of organisms that you may see living on a tree or even a medium-sized plant found in your surroundings. So you have to find out the types of organisms that are living on a plant, on a tree. Now activity number 3. Select a tree or plant in your school. Observe the tree that you have selected over a period of time, say a week, by visiting it at least 2 different times a day. Do this every day. Now we are at home, you can do this one. Observe the tree. You select one tree and observe a tree at least 2 different times a day. Do this every day. Let each member of your group note the observation individually whenever they can. Now make a list of all the organisms seen by you on your first visit. So in your first visit, when you saw the first tree, then make a list what type of animals and birds you are able to see on the tree. Add the names of organisms that you may find in next visit. Again, next day when you see the tree, do you find any different animals or birds? If you have seen the different animals or birds, you have to add them in the list. Make a rough sketch of the tree in your notebook and mark the places on the tree where you spot these organisms. Carry out your exploration by trying to do the following. Did you find some small plants growing on the tree? You can touch the bark and look for the green velvety growth for this. Yes, you can see green velvety growth on the tree. Is the tree chosen by you a habitat for this plant? Yes, you can see small plants are growing on big trees. And you can say that tree is a habitat for that small plant. Did you find that some animals were always present on the tree? Name them. What type of animals or birds are always present on the tree? Did you find some animals coming to and going away from the tree? What were they? Did you spot the same animals every day? Can you see same animal every day near the tree? Is the tree a habitat for the organisms that came on some days and could not be found on other days? Yes, some birds will migrate. They'll come to particular tree for some days and again they'll disappear. So you can say the tree is a habitat for the birds. Based on your observations, for which organism the tree observed by you a habitat? Discuss with the other group. Do all the trees observed have the same animals? Is there any tree without animal? Yes, all the trees will not have the same animals. And is there any tree without animals? No. Some bird will come and take rest on the tree. What are the animals we frequently see on trees? Try to observe more plants and trees in your surroundings as well. Yes, you have to do this in this lockdown period. Now there are different types of trees in our surroundings. Only we cannot see mango tree or neem tree. We can see different types of trees. Tree is a place where different types of plants and animals live. Birds, squirrels, ants, spiders, etc. Some very small plants also grow on the barks of trees. So even some small plants are growing on the barks of the trees. Trees are thus habitat for different organisms. Birds and squirrels come and go from a tree. A tree is a habitat for them. Here they have given the question, do you find some animals coming to and going away from the tree? What are they? So birds and squirrels will come, they'll make the nest and they'll go. They'll feed their babies and they'll go. So like this they'll come and go. Still tree is a habitat for those birds. Now coming to our house as a habitat. So far we have learned about the tree as a habitat. Now it's a house for as a habitat. We live in houses that protect us from heat, cold, rain and etc. Yes, our house is made up of bricks and cement. So they will protect us from heat, cold and rain, and a shelter for us, and it gives a shelter for us. We keep some animals and birds as pets in our houses. Yes, dog, hens, birds, cows. These will keep as pets. We also grow some plants which gives us fruits and vegetables. Yes, maybe it's maybe a coriander or tomato, aloe vera or tulasi. So these all will grow plants. Some plants may give us fruits and some plants may give us vegetables. Discuss the different organisms living in your house. List them. Can animals that live in our houses as pets live in other places as well? Name the animals and also write the places where they can live. Yes, some dogs will keep as pets in our houses. The same way we can see dogs in our street. They are not pets. So they can live in our house and on the streets also. Animals not useful to us also live in our houses. Give examples of such animals. Why do only certain types of animals and plants live along with us? Yes, no cockroach. It is not useful for us. Still it live in our house with us. Lizards. Lizards are also not useful to us. Still they live with us. Why do only certain types of animals and plants live along with us? Because we cannot grow all types of plants in our house. And all types of animals. Like we cannot keep monkey as a pet animal. Because it may harm us. Next, we domesticate some types of animals and plants for our needs such as food. Yes, mostly we will domesticate the animals that help us. The dog guards our home. In the same way, cow gives us milk. So, in this way, we will domesticate some animals only. Thus, we can say that our house is also habitat. Yes, we can say that our house is also habitat because our house is giving shelter, food. Now, for dog we are giving them food and also shelter. So, house is a habitat for dog. Several animals like dogs, cats, goats, cows, birds, spiders, ants, cockroaches live with us. Plants like the money plant and some crotons are also kept inside our houses. Yes, money plants are kept inside our houses. We should take care of our pet animals. Most of the time we concentrate on getting milk from cow, buffalo, but not on their needs. Keeping the sheds clean, supplying fodder and water to them is our responsibility. So many of you may having the pet animals. So cow is a pet animal. It gives us milk. But when we take care of them, they'll give proper milk. That means we should keep their shelter neat and clean. As we take bath, as we sweep our house, or as we keep our house clean, in the same way we have to keep the shelters of the pet animals neat and tidy. As well as we have to provide the fodder properly. Fodder means food for the animals. That is our responsibility. If we show concern for animals, they'll become affectionate to us. Yes, if you show concern on them, they'll make friends. They'll be friendly with us. You notice your pet dog licks your feet, wags its tail, sits near you and walk with you. Yes, pet dog, wherever you go, it will follow you and it will lick your feet and it will wag its tail. That means it's showing its love towards you. Have you ever experienced the affection that a dog, cat shows towards you? Even the cat also shows its love towards us. So, in this way, the pet animals are very close to us. So, don't think the benefit that we are getting from the pet animals. But even we have to take care of the animals. That is our responsibility. Okay, so far we have finished up to our house is a habitat. Remaining will be continued tomorrow. And you have to just find out the answers for these questions in the page number 56. Try to do this. If it is not possible, tomorrow I'll tell you the answers, don't worry. But homework is you have to find out and you have to write. Thank you.